Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Sunday night. This is Geeks of Glory. My name is Rillian, and welcome to the Geek Retreat here on Mixer and YouTube. I'm glad you all could join me. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Rialto. That's right, we've changed locations yet again. And now we're here. Isn't it cool? I think it's nice. We got a nice little night shot here of a bridge over the Rialto. Just calm, comforting. You know, we decided to move off the beach this week so that we could come to some place where there were people. Unfortunately, there aren't any people. Been shut in for so long now and come to a place where there's supposed to be people. Nobody's here. Nobody's out. What the hell? But whatever. We're here to hang out with you anyway, so we'll make do with what we got. But hanging out with you guys is not just making do. It's awesome. It's always a great night when I get to hang out with all of you. So I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are keeping sane during this insanity that's going on with COVID-19, the coronavirus. If you're not keeping your sanity, you should hang out in our Discord channel more. Chat with the people there. They're great at helping you keep your sanity. All right, so let's go ahead and start with news tonight, unless somebody's got something they want to ask or share. But if we get through the news, then we can move on to introducing our guest, which I'm excited about. Any of you guys excited about this? Because I'm excited about it. I hope you are. I mean, I hope. And I do want to say thank you, Dan, for that host. I noticed that pop up earlier. So thank you very much. Especially here on Mixer, we don't have a lot of people that know about us yet. So it's great to get that kind of push. Yes, we're in Venice tonight. Location may have been chosen on purpose. Definitely was. Yeah, the producers here thought it would be a good idea to, you know, show that it's not all that dangerous here. It's a perfectly calm and nice place to come. My man is looking like part of the mob. Yeah, I just figured I'd dress up nice for tonight, you know. We do what we can. How are you doing tonight, Chaos? Well, thank you, Dan. We try. How are you doing tonight? Sorry, just waiting for all my news pages to refresh because after a while they apparently all shut down and I've got to reload them. But yeah, how are you guys doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. I've been told I look like part of the mob.
Well, I guess it's suited.
Suit.
Your locale tonight.
Yeah. Hey, you. Sorry, I got a Geekling here. Yeah, we brought the Geeklings to Venice with us, too.
He's a Jedi in training.
Oh, he's a Jedi in training. Awesome. Anyway, okay. Let's get started with this stuff. Unless you need something from me. Okay. Hopefully he'll be calm enough. Not bad. Is there anything else going on tonight or just an interview? Well, I mean, we're talking about stuff. But that's what Geek Retreat generally is. I may have to hold the Geekling here. We'll see. He's getting a little fussy, but... Oh. I think he found something to entertain him. We'll see. Anyway. Yeah, generally I do some news and then I do an interview with a content creator or something along those lines. Tonight, you can look in the title and see who it is. So long as the title actually printed the way it was supposed to tonight, not like it has done on other nights and changed it on me. Nope, it's got the right title. Yeah. At least on YouTube. Mixer? Good. Alright, I gotta grab a Geekling. Hold on. We'll be right back. Who is that? Well, I guess you'll have to stick around and find out. We get through the news here. We'll bring them on. This is the Geekling. He's crashing the set tonight. Say hi. Say hi. He's a Jedi in training, everyone. See? Alrighty. Okay, so for news tonight, I don't know how many of you know about Valve's card game called Artifact, but Gabe Newell, the head of Valve, has hinted that Artifact is making a return. They're working on it. Specifically, there have been enough changes that now they're going to be calling it Artifact 2. You've never heard of her? Well, I guess you'll have to stick around and find out. So there have been enough changes to it. Now, when Artifact was initially released, it was not well received. In fact, it received a lot of terrible press before dying off. But Valve is going under the idea of, we learned a lot from that failure, we're going to improve on it, and then we're going to move forward. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But as of right now, making a return, too many card games, it was doomed. And that could be possibly part of it. But Gabe Newell is saying that it is going to go on. So they're going to be releasing it again. Artifact's Twitter, in fact, came out with Artifact under construction. First off, we wanted to say thanks for all your tweets, emails, and posts. The continued interest in Artifact has been encouraging, and we sincerely appreciate all of the feedback. You might notice some changes soon. We are starting testing on our systems and infrastructure. This shouldn't impact live Artifact, but we wanted to give you a heads up. Expect more news after the launch of Half-Life Alyx. So they are saying that it is going to be delayed based on, they still need to finish up Half-Life Alyx. Let's focus on one project at a time. But that's our next plan to move on to things. Half-Life Alyx is still set to come out on March 23rd. So tomorrow, I guess we'll see what happens with all these delays and stuff that we've got going on. Also, it was announced in our Discord, and I did some more digging on it. Tomb Raider is currently free on Steam, along with some other games, but Tomb Raider specifically is free. And unlike other free weekends, when you get a free game from Steam for a weekend, once you download it, you get to keep it. The Tomb Raider Twitter came out and said, "We're warmed by stories of communities banding together during these uncertain times, and we are offering a gift to keep friends and family connected together through play. Read more at tombRaider.games/stayhomeandplay." So they are offering both Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, I can't read the fine print, but Temple of Osiris. There's the link for Tomb Raider. It's up in our Discord right now, so you can grab it through there. I prefer you guys didn't post links here. Unless it's something we pre-approved. I've got a link for one of these other news stories, but yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, they're giving away the game for free. And this is one example of companies doing things to try to keep people's spirits up and keep people coming to them during this time where I'm sure sales are really hurting. Yeah, and I don't know if you can share links in here, Chaos. I'm not sure what the bot is, or the moderation is like yet on YouTube. But in other news, Grand Theft Auto 4 is making a comeback on Steam. But not just Grand Theft Auto 4, it is Grand Theft Auto 4 Complete Edition, which includes the original game and the standalone DLC. Imagine Blizzard gave everyone like 60 free days of game time, even new users. That would be insane. It would be. It would be. I doubt Blizzard would make a move like that, but man, it would get them a lot of great publicity right now. Yeah. Anyway, so it's both the original game and the standalone stories. And if you already own one of those two games, you get the other one. You'll be upgraded to the Complete Edition for free if you already have one. If you don't, the only thing you'll be able to buy is the Complete Edition. and they need it. I agree with the Blizzard needing it there. I definitely agree with that. But with Grand Theft Auto returning, we noticed something else that was missing off the Steam store. Mortal Kombat Complete Edition was removed from Steam. Now, it's not sure why it was removed, but this reboot of the original Mortal Kombat, when it was included on Steam as the Complete Edition, had added DLC including Kratos from God of War and Freddy Krueger from The Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, it's possible that one of those is the reason that the game had to be removed. For instance, Freddy Krueger is no longer owned by Warner Brothers. It had to be returned to the estate of Wes Craven, who wrote and directed Nightmare on Elm Street. But that's not necessarily the reason. There are many other reasons that it could have been removed from Steam, so we're kind of just left to guess why. Oh, all the Geeklings are crashing this scene tonight.
Say goodnight.
Good night. Love you. It's Geekling number 2 just off screen here. No, you don't get to come back here.
Let's go.
Night. Just checked. I already have Tomb Raider on Steam, but thanks for the heads up. Not a problem. If you check on our Discord and media and links, Tamor actually provided a bunch of links to different games that are free currently. I think they're all on Steam, but I could be wrong. The links say they've got a price to them, but apparently that is not the case. All right, last 2 stories. We'll go with this one first. So, of course, we couldn't get through this whole COVID-19 business without a little bit of tongue-in-cheek game developers having their say. And in one case here, we have Sos Sawowski, designer of Mosh Pit Simulator, McPixel, and a piano that plays Doom, invented a new browser game called Stock Jump. It takes real stock market data, turns the graph of the plummeting value of stocks, and turns it into a ski slope. And your final score for the run is based on your jump at the end and the distance that you travel in meters. So if you want to find a link to that, you can just search for, I believe it's, I said it, Stock Jump? Yeah, Stock Jump in your Internet Explorer and go play with your stocks. Let's take a dive off of Apple or Netflix. Why not? Why not? You know, I would think Netflix stocks would be going up right now. Because, I mean, come on. Everybody's staying home and watching. Can confirm all in Steam. Cool. Cool, cool. All right, last one actually has a link that I need to drop into chat. So I'm going to grab that real quick. Because we got a fun little thing to share with you here. Hey, 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 hey. None of that. None of that now. Especially not right into the mic. That's going to hurt everybody's ears. Oh boy, guys. I'm sorry. Usually I have somebody to help me with him. But tonight, she's currently still getting other Geeklings to bed. Alright, so I think I got the link now. Let's double check. Copy link. There we go. Back over here. So guys, if you were to go... That's the wrong keyboard to hit enter on. If you go to that link right there, it should be coming up. There we go. If you go to that link right there... Mixer's blocking me. I'll try to do it this way. Well, I can post this up in our... There we go. It's now up on Mixer too. If you go to that link right there, it'll take you to the Amazon warehouse sale that is going on. This includes sales of all kinds of things. But there are some really great deals going on right now for both games and gaming equipment. The cheapest game that I was able to find was Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4 at $15. But you also have other names like Bayonetta 2, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Control, Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, Octopath Traveler, Resident Evil Origins Collection, Sonic Mania Plus, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Team Sonic Racing, and Tetris Effects, all at reduced prices. I think the most expensive one I'm seeing on this list is at $35. So you can pick up a number of games as well as different accessories. The best deal that I've found, or the best 2 deals I'd say I found, is an Xbox controller that was about $15. Now, it was wired, so you do have to worry about that. But it was $15 on this sale. And the best console deal that I found is the Xbox One S, 1 terabyte console, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order bundle for $191 US. So, check out the link there. It is an affiliate link. I've got to put out that disclaimer. It's an affiliate link. So, we'll get a little kickback if you decide to order anything off that link. But, check it out. It's well worth your time to at least look and see if there's anything that you need and pick it up at the reduced prices. It's okay, little bud. It's okay. Well, if this just doesn't fit our theme for the night, huh? Okay, so it's about that time of night that I now need to turn and look and see if my guest is currently ready. Because it's that time of night that we move on to our main topic for the night. Okay, I get some water too. Because especially talking over Geekling is dry work. All right, well, just turn on your camera when you're ready, and we can get going from there. Hey, could you actually let me talk? Nope, of course not. It's okay, little bud. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, I think somebody's hungry because he's trying to eat my finger. You know, the one I gotta use on the mouse here. You have no idea who this is gonna be. Surprise you? Okay, Dan, I will do my best to surprise you. Somehow I think you're bluffing me, but... All right, guys. I would like you to welcome my guest for the night. It's not Geekling number 3 here, no matter how hard he screams about it. But she is a streamer, a gamer, an affiliate over on Twitch, a mother, and a Doomsong singer. Would you all please welcome in FaultyCodeGamer? Oops, and I messed up my intro again there. Oh, well, there it is. We'll get it right one of these times. How are you doing tonight, Faulty?
I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry about the screaming Geekling here, but...
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Mom should be back in here shortly. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I am happy to be here in lovely Rialto. Have you guys seen any dolphins yet?
What's that?
Have you seen any dolphins yet? Because I've heard that because of the lack of boat traffic, dolphins have actually been seen in the canals.
I've heard that it's gotten very clear at the very least, and that fish have started showing up, but I hadn't heard about the dolphins.
Yeah, I saw videos that dolphins have started showing back up in the Italian canals.
Move them. What mouse cursor? Oh, that's right. It shows through and into Discord. Thank you.
Don't listen to Dan. He likes to heckle me. So.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Well, all right.
I take what he says with a grain of salt.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. He's usually pretty good to me, but I think that's because I stand up for him occasionally.
No, I'm keeping an eye on him because he likes to heckle me, so I'm watching him.
And sorry again, guys, about the noise from the Geekling here. He's just not happy at the moment. He's trying to eat my finger. Okay, so let's start off with an easy one. Who is Faulty? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
See, it's funny because you think that's an easy one, but
Usually? Why is that a usually?
You would think that would be an easy one, but
well,
it depends on who you ask.
Well, tell us about yourself. Tell us about what
Okay.
you do on Twitch, because I've already said you're a Twitch streamer.
Right.
You know, tell us about stuff like that.
And I am sorry that, my green screen is
Faulty?
glitching out. It's faulty, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So, like Brilliant said, I am a Twitch streamer. I'm a variety I like to classify myself as a variety Twitch streamer. I don't like to box myself in. I don't like to pigeonhole myself. I started out playing a lot of indie games. The very first game I think I ever streamed on Twitch was an indie game called Forager. And it was actually back in when it was in beta. So it hadn't even come out on Steam yet. And people were like, I've never seen this game. What is it? And I'd actually seen it first here on YouTube. And I really wanted to play it because I was like, well, people will, it's a not non-saturated, but it was something, people would be not familiar with.
Okay.
And then...
Well, that can be a double-edged sword because sometimes then people don't go looking for it.
True. That's true. That's very true. But I think then I went to another indie game called RimWorld, which was a slightly bigger indie game. And that happened to be on Steam at the time. So that helped me grow a little more.
Yeah, I think I've seen a number of streamers do that one.
Yeah, that's actually a really fun one. And the good thing about that is it has a mod where your Twitch channel can actually interact and cause events to happen in your colony. So that actually helped a lot. Yeah. But it wasn't until I played Borderlands 2 that my channel really took off.
Okay.
Because that's when a lot of the things that happened within my channel kind of happened. Like the fact that we sing the Doom song when I get raided.
The Doom song?
That happened from Borderlands 2.
So what
Doom
is
song
this?
From Invader Zim.
I guess you're going to have to share this Doom song with us then.
Pardon?
I said, I guess you're going to have to share this Doom song with us then.
Yes.
To put you on the spot.
But yeah,
here.
that happened because of Borderlands 2. So many of the things that make my channel what it is came out of that game.
Well, that's the great thing about, streaming and stuff. As you develop the community, each community develops its own perks, things like, oh geez, we've done stuff along the ways, and damn it, Todd, having risen from our stream stuff. I don't know if you were around when that became a thing, but it's definitely something that grew with our community and is stuck around, and it's a lot of fun.
Right.
Okay.
Like if you had told me like a little over a year ago that I would be, the streamer known for being known for EVs and singing the Doom song, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Fair enough. Well, I guess since that's what you're known for, you're gonna have to sing it for us here.
I can do that. Give me. Yeah, so anytime the channel gets rated, I press the little button on the on my stream deck, and everybody is greeted with that and with a little dance from Faulty, and they're never expecting it.
Awesome. I'm surprised how many people use GUR and or other Invader Zim stuff on Twitch. I mean, we've got one for our follower emote. I actually saw somebody else use one for their follower emote. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. JB and Arini coming in. Hey, how you two doing? Okay, so you said you do variety stuff. Is there any specific stuff you're sticking to right now?
Right now, I'm playing The Sims 4. I'm doing a challenge run through of it.
A challenge run through. What's that?
Basically, right now I'm doing the Black Widow challenge.
Oh.
Yeah. And basically, think of a Black Widow spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know what she's talking about, Google's your friend now.
Yeah, Google is your friend.
Though the FBI may break social distancing if you go and Google something like that, but we'll see.
So
Okay.
basically what it is you have to marry and kill off a certain number of spouses. That's what it boils down to.
Fair enough.
It basically my main sim is the nanny from Addams Family Values.
Okay.
So
fair enough. I can see that. All right. Do you have any big events coming up with your stream? I see you chose your mug wisely there for this.
Oh gosh, that was not on purpose. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Sure, just rub it all in our faces.
That was not on purpose. I promise. I can tell you why I'm using this mug. My bridal shower was yesterday.
Yep.
So that's also why I'm not running on all cylinders right now. I'm tired.
I was just holding in my hands why I'm not running on all cylinders, so I can feel you there.
Yeah. It I put pictures up on Twitter of I wasn't able to put all the pictures up on because I found out real quick that Twitter only lets you post 4 pictures per post, and I was like, well, I wanted to put all of these up, and that's not fair. So I had to like go through them and be like, pick exactly 4 pictures that I wanted to post, and
Instagram is going to be more your friend.
I wanted to,
Instagram is more going to be your friend there because
but there's so many people that follow me on Twitter that don't follow me on Instagram, so it wouldn't be fair to them. It wasn't fair to them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that.
So, but yeah, so in case you couldn't tell, cat's out of the bag. I am getting married. Can't see it.
There we go.
There. And yeah, you can see the ring.
There we go. So. Awesome. Well, congratulations on all that.
Thank you. Yeah, this whole mess, I know you were talking about it before, has been taking, I don't want to say it's been taking its toll on it, but it's
been taking its toll on everything.
Start to affect it.
Yeah, it's been taking its toll on everything. So, I mean, I can completely understand that. My day job is technically one that I should never be able to do from home.
Yeah.
And right now I'm under orders to work from home.
Right. 6 String can't do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't be able to. Basically, I had to go pick up this. This is my work right now, is read through this.
Like, he's in a position where his job is marked essential. So, yes, I would, Daniel. I would, and that's who we're talking. That's what we're talking about.
I'm in this position that is considered essential too. Yeah, so I know the feeling. And if it should come to certain support jobs that we have, I would have to go in for that.
Yeah.
We've got enough overlap that right now, because we've had some symptoms in the house, that my boss has said, you stay out.
Yeah.
You stay out. Somebody else will cover it. But between you guys, you need to cover it. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
But we're getting to the point where we're actually having to debate whether or not to postpone to next year.
That's hard.
So, because it's not even like a virus. It's not even the virus, it's the financial ramifications of,
Oh, sure.
people being out of a job and, whether or not they can travel or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
JB,
So
somebody's
this
got to
week
do it.
this week has just been, you know,
Yeah, it's been weird. We've been locked up here all
been
week, and
weird. It's been stressful.
yep.
But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. That's not what we're here for.
Well, but and the good point about that is, all three of you are still healthy, right?
Exactly.
And whether the wedding happens or not, as planned or later, or even if something should occur that it specifically doesn't happen, you guys are still a loving couple.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where the important thing is.
And technically, he and I are legally married.
So. Okay. So now it's just the fun bit.
Right.
You want to have the party.
Like the celebration, the icing on the proverbial wedding cake. So.
Literally.
Exactly. What we're gonna have to cope with is breaking the news to 3-string. That's what we're not looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because he will literally ask me, how many days are left, and he will ask to look at my phone, to look at the countdown. So, like, because he's the ring bearer. So
okay.
he's taking his job very seriously.
Well, good. That's good. We'll get into your family structure here too in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the last question that I wanted to ask about you.
Okay.
First off, before I get to it, I forgot to mention this off from the top, but everyone here, go over to twitch.tv/FaultyCodeGamer. If you're on YouTube, you can find the link down in the description, and make sure you drop her a follow. She's well worth going over and watching. And I mean, come on.
I would like to, if I may, Real.
Okay.
I'm currently doing this thing where if I reach 300 followers, I will do a stream in an EV onesie.
Ooh.
So there is that incentive.
How far away are you?
At last count, I think I was at 282.
282.
I believe.
So you need 18 more.
I believe.
I've done worse. Hey, everybody, go over and give FaultyCodeGamer a follow. Then go onto your Twitter and make sure you link that to everyone you know. Share it in any Discords that you possibly can. This is how I get people to affiliate. Now to you said 300?
Yes.
This is how we do this. Go and get her to 300.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll force her to get up from her chair and go put on the EV onesie here on stream.
I don't have it with me.
Whoops.
I don't have it with me.
Guys, let's get this done. Rukia, I'm putting you in charge of hyping this one up. Let's get this moving.
Yeah, we need the onesie. That's the thing.
But we can still get you to the numbers right now, guys.
Yeah, you can get me to the numbers. The problem is the onesie is actually on my streamer gifts.
Well, hey, there's a link to that in the YouTube description as well. I put your whole links tree on there. So
all of my streamer links are down below.
On YouTube. It's not on Mixer. Sorry, I don't have a way of doing that on Mixer. But
sorry.
I'm still trying to figure that out. But either way, you can find all of those links on her Twitch profile, twitch.tv/FaultyCodeGamer. Dan, I know you know your way over there.
Yeah, so, I know you know your way over there. You practically live there. You lurk under that bridge.
All right. So the last one that I've got for you that's, looking at you and your streaming and all that specifically is, where did the name FaultyCodeGamer come from?
You're going to laugh.
Okay. I love it when that happens.
I misheard a Halsey lyric.
Oh?
Yeah. So I kid you not, I was standing in 6-String's kitchen and we were listening to the Halsey song Gasoline. And the lyric is, I think there's a flaw in my code. And my brain heard, I think there's a fault in my code.
Okay.
And I turned to him and I said, that's it. That's it. because before that, my my username had been my name in the Tolkien Elvish language.
Okay.
And it didn't roll off the tongue. Nobody could pronounce it.
Fair enough.
And I was like, I can't stream with this. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to be able to pronounce it.
So nobody's going to
You
talk
know?
about you. So it's
Right.
it's hard to grow that way.
You know, I can't put this on a business card. I can't do this. So like it hit me. I was like, that's it.
Awesome.
It was literally like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I like that. Okay. That's a good one. All right, so let's back up here a step because we've talked a little bit about them, but let's actually lay out for people that may not know you as a streamer or you as a person so much. Let's lay out kind of the family tree that we're talking about here. You've talked about 6-string, you've talked about 3-string, and then obviously there's you. So why don't you explain who they are to you?
Okay.
So we've got a frame of reference moving forward.
Okay. So 6-string is who I like to call my life partner in crime because he is, depending on who you ask, he's my fiance, he's my husband, he's basically...
Sometimes your streaming partner.
Yeah. If you come to my stream, he likes to hang out in several capacities. He's one of my mods. He's usually always there in some capacity. We've been together almost 10 years. We're college sweethearts. Yeah, Dan is under the delusion of grandeur that he's his best friend.
Dan, I thought I was your best friend.
Yeah. And 3-string is his son from a previous marriage.
Okay.
I call him 3-string because he is named after his dad, like to the T. Like they have the exact same name. The only difference is 3-string is junior.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense.
So like they are the exact same person. It's hilarious. So much so that in real life, I call him the sequel.
There you go.
I do. I call him the sequel.
Well, does number 2 live up to number 1 then? Because usually that's the problem you have with sequels. And then the third one comes along and everybody loves that.
A lot of the time, yes. But his dad is also like his idol. And no matter what 6-string is doing, he wants to be there. Like he needs to know what he's doing, like at all times.
Fair enough.
Like if 6-string is in the kitchen, if he's cooking something, 3-string is right there and wants to be his assistant chef.
Cool.
It's the cutest thing.
That's awesome.
But they look exactly alike. We found 6-string's old pictures from when he was the same age, and it's uncanny.
Yeah. We found a picture when I was younger of what looked to be me at about that age. Like it could have been taken the previous summer type thing. Sitting what looked like on our back patio with my great-grandfather, who died before I was 2.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm looking at this picture going, but that's me. No,
right.
That was my father. And we look very, very similar. So I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's like we showed it to 3-string, and he was like, "That looks like me." Because he had never seen a picture of his father of his dad at that age. But we always told him, you look exactly like your dad.
Yep.
And he looked at it, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "The only difference is I'm tanner."
Fair enough.
Which is true. He's, he has tanner skin than his father did, but
yeah, he's got the looks.
He does.
Yeah, people have
But
already taken to
he
calling
acts
Geekling.
exactly like him too.
Several people have mentioned that Geekling number 2 appears to be my mini me, so we'll see as he gets a little bit older, but yeah.
But it's funny because even though he's not biologically my son, there are things that he does where Six String will look at me and goes, "He is your child.
He's
He is
picking that up
your
from you.
child."
Yep. It doesn't character traits like that. It doesn't matter whether you're the biological or not. It's whether you're an influence in their life.
Yeah. And the only thing we can chalk it up to is osmosis.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Rukia.
Yeah, Rukia will tell you. She knows Three String in real life, so she'll tell you it's osmosis.
Rukia, my brother has a daughter that looks a lot like him, and that may be fortunate, that may be unfortunate. I'll leave that for you to decide. She's a cute little girl. Don't take it the wrong way. Wish we got to see her more. But anyway, I guess one more note that I have on this then is, you say that Six String is a great supporter of yours. He's always hanging out in your streams, and such. However, I've got a note. He's never stopped by us. He's never stopped by. And as such, he's falling under the couples naming convention. And therefore, he is not Six String here. He's Old Fault.
Oh, gosh, I forgot about this. Oh, gosh.
So if you guys hear me referring to Old Fault, you may know him as Six String.
You guys are not going to let him live that down, are you?
No, we will, if he ever starts showing up. Third Rock Astronomy, or Fushu, used to be Hubby Poo.
Oh, gosh.
But he has earned his way out of that name because he hangs out. He comes by. Yep. Used to be Hubby Poo. Now we've let him have his own name now that he hangs around. It's just confusing because he has 2 different accounts he hangs around with. Oh, thank you, Dan. Anyway. So,
yeah.
In case you guys didn't read the subtext in the title, tonight's conversation is a lot about us now as geeks and nerds in this generation raising kids to be, well, geeklings or nerdlings. So I guess you've told us a little bit about Three String, but tell us some about him and what he's like. You don't have to go into specific details that you feel are uncomfortable here, but just give us a feel of what you go through with him.
Well, first I should probably mention that he has high functioning autism.
Okay.
So he loves Pokemon. He's just started getting into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that good stuff. We got him into Harry Potter over, I think, like the last year.
Okay.
The thing is, when you have a child that has, high functioning, they will latch onto something and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he does not let go of something when he, has found his one, I don't want to say obsession.
But it essentially boils down to that, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't want to use that as like a bad term, but like I said, he loves Pokemon. He and I, that's kind of like become our thing.
Yeah.
Because he's actually watched me a couple of times. He's watched my stream. He knows what it is. He doesn't quite get the gist of it. He thinks I'm just like playing on my computer. He doesn't know that I'm like playing for other people.
Mm.
But he's seen that I have in my channel.
Okay.
So he knows that Eevee is my favorite Pokemon.
There you go.
We would watch, like episodes of Pokemon together, and he would remember specifically, even if it's been like weeks or months where we haven't been able to watch it, he would remember specifically what episode we stopped on.
Huh.
And he would refuse to watch it with anyone else but me.
Nice.
But then I forget what streaming channel it was. They took it off the free to watch option. So there were no episodes of Pokemon on anymore. So I couldn't, watch it with him anymore. And now I have to explain to him why we can't watch Pokemon anymore. So it's not as simple of, hey, we can't watch Pokemon, now we have to watch something else. It's, having to explain a change in routine.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that can get hard.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of touched on this then, but I was going to say, what is the biggest challenge of now raising the next generation of geeks? Because really, if we look at it, we're kind of the first generations with that, and I want to get into that there a little bit. But what's your biggest challenge right now with helping to raise 3-string?
That's...
And maybe what you just discussed was actually it, too.
I guess. And I mean, some people would see that as a challenge, but I think I have a unique perspective because I grew up as a neurodivergent child myself.
Okay.
So I remember what it was like.
Fair enough.
Having to I remember what it was like having to, take a step back when things were too wibbly wobbly up in here.
Well, when you start messing with timey-wimey stuff, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
But I wrote these questions too before knowing about that. I was more just wondering too, biggest challenges with raising kids. What do you find that as today? If you don't have anything, we can move on. It was just a question.
No, I know. I'm just trying to... Yeah, can we...
Okay.
Yeah, maybe come back to that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How about we switch it around then? And what is your biggest joys with doing it? Is that an easy? That's not easy.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Okay. Maybe I skipped this section then.
No. He's a good kid. He's genuinely a good kid. He's just so loving. He's always happy to see you. He gives, the biggest hugs.
Yeah.
When we're saying goodnight, he, we do this thing at night where, I'll say I love you, and he goes, I love you mostest, and we're going back and forth, and we can do that we will literally stand there and go back and forth until we're blue in the face, and 6-string has to literally drag me out of the room because we will stand there and try to beat each other.
I know you're on TikTok too, so maybe you've seen that audio clip that was going around for a while, or maybe it was before you got over there. But I love you.
That's us.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's us.
Awesome.
Because because I've been in his life since he was 2.5. So
Okay.
he and I are. He's not only like my. He's not only my stepson, but he's also. I don't want to say my buddy, but he and I are. We will
Nice.
literally just look at each other, and he knows how to make me laugh. He knows how to make me laugh. Like the other day, we were because obviously he's out of school right now.
You don't
So
say.
we just got him into painting D&D miniatures.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That
And he
takes
was
some.
painting a dragon.
Okay.
And he's got the paintbrush in his mouth, and he's wearing one of his dad's hats. And he decides to start painting his dragon again. He looks at us, and he looks at us with this straight face, and he goes, "Those art classes are really paying off."
Nice.
Exactly. This kid is 10 and a half, and he has the best comedic timing.
Yeah, we've got the opposite problem with our 9-year-old. He tries so hard to make jokes that it's way too try hard. It's just, of course, I don't think it helps that he's trying to learn from me, and I've got all the
Oh,
puns that go on. So then
oh
he
no,
tries to come up with a pun to outpun me, but
no.
it's like, but it's because it's a door. Get it?
Yeah.
Where'd the rest of the joke go? I feel like you're missing half of it.
Yeah.
But he tries. He tries so hard.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So,
I want to find one thing to laugh at in here, but I can't. There's just
well, like he'll say something, and Six String and I will look at each other, and we'll be like, "Where did he learn that? Where did
awesome.
where did he learn that?"
Yeah, I've got.
Because we'll be like, "Because I know it wasn't from me,
Yeah,
and I know it wasn't from you."
yeah, I've got one of those moments later here. But okay, I guess moving on, since those seem to be a little bit more difficult than I was intending them to be.
It,
Um,
it's fine.
so looking at the difference between how we were raised as kids and now how our kids are being raised, because at least in what I have seen,
Mm,
our parents, at least for the most part, their generation wasn't raised around video games. They weren't raised
right,
so much with things like Dungeons and Dragons. Though I know my father's played.
right,
It wasn't something he continued in. It was more of um the nerds and the outcasts play it. Nerds and geeks
exactly,
was a bad thing to be, where now
exactly.
our generation has started to embrace it, and now I feel like the next generation, our kids, it's okay. And it's more than okay. It's actually encouraged in a lot of
Right,
ways.
right.
So,
Like now, it's okay to be different.
right. So, in your opinion, I kind of wanted to look at, you know, what are the differences there, and how has the world changed in your estimation, and how does that affect parenting now versus when our parents did it? And again, this is
Uh,
your opinion on it. I'm not looking for scientific facts backing any of it.
that's fair. Um, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's I've definitely seen that from what I've seen, it's more acceptable now to be, nerdier
Hmm.
or, less quote unquote mainstream. I don't know if that's the right word.
It's almost like being a nerd or a geek is becoming mainstream.
Yeah. Um, like the the dichotomy of it is changing, I think.
Hmm.
Like
So,
at least, 10, 20 years ago, um, there were things that I was picked on for, that I found, you know, that interested me, and it's coming full circle where now it's cool,
yeah.
it's acceptable. And I'm like, you know, that's great. You know, I don't have to worry about this being an issue.
Yep. Yeah. And it makes you wonder that how many more people in our generation then were into that kind of thing, but weren't allowed to do anything with it, or were too scared to do
Exactly.
anything with it. Thank you.
Exactly.
So, and yeah, now that they're living that vicariously through their own children. But again, how do you think this changes how we have to parent now?
I don't want to say it's more lax, because it's definitely not. But we're definitely more aware. We're more aware that people are different.
Okay.
I think. Like, we're more aware that, you know, just because someone is different doesn't mean that they're wrong.
Okay. I could see that, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and I think one thing that I've seen here too is we are a lot more open to the place for video games. You know, when we were growing up, it was very much that was at least in my household, it was a privileged thing. We could do it sometimes. It definitely wasn't something we could do all the time. Where now, and especially back then, you know, there's no way you could make a living on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We both now as streamers can say, hold up.
Right.
Why didn't
Let
I
me
start
show you
this 10 years
something.
ago?
Exactly.
Um,
And I know I would argue that there are some people that still have that mindset,
sure.
but
I mean,
I think that, you know, with this whole whatever is going on, that, you know, people are able to show that maybe you can.
maybe. And
Because they're getting the opportunity to say, hey, you know, I can turn this into something that's viable.
yeah. And I mean, I know here in our household at least that it's still a privileged thing to an extent because you know you got to get your chores done first because we
Right.
need clean dishes to eat off of, we need clothes to be able to put on, you know, your bed needs to get
Oh,
made,
yeah,
things like that
definitely.
have to be done. So you know, in some ways I know I'm still stricter than some other parents, but I am also still
Yeah.
trying to introduce to especially our oldest right now. The younger two are a little bit more of an exception to that because the 3 month old isn't doing the dishes.
Yeah, they're still itty bitty. 3 months old, lucky if he can hold his head up.
Yeah. No, he's got that one down. It's everything else holding up that's difficult. But yeah, to that point, you know, we need to get the work done before we can do the play.
All right.
But we understand that there's a need for the play.
Right.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into too where we're talking about the younger ones. Specifically, I'm thinking about our middle one. What are your thoughts on video games as educational material? You know, I know there's a lot, and I can say from experience, there are a lot of educational programs out there that are made very accessible to young children. So I know when I was growing up that screen time like that, it would still be considered screen time, whether it was educational or not, was kind of frowned upon. You know, it was restricted.
Right.
And I know my parents probably had a stricter grasp on that than others, but I know one friend that I had that was on all the time. At least it seemed to me. But I know my screen time was limited partly because chores I had and whatnot. But what's your opinion on programs like this, or have you had any experience with them?
I personally didn't. I didn't have like educational screen time like video games.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's not. I take that back. I just remembered we used to have like the Freddy Fish video game or computer game when I was really young. And I don't know if that counts as educational, but it feels like it feels like it was. I feel like you learned some. I feel like I learned something from it because there were puzzles in it. So I don't know if that counts.
Fair enough.
But I don't know. I feel like there could be merit to it, but I think it would have to be in certain settings.
Okay.
Like, obviously, it wouldn't have to be like an everyday. Yes, number munchers. Oh my gosh. I feel like it would have to be a certain setting. Like if you did it like once a week, like if your child needed a certain kind of, and I don't want to keep going back to this, but like occupational therapy or this kind of thing, or where they need to have this, where their teacher is saying, you know, this is what we're doing and this is how you're going to do it, or if the parent says this is what we're doing and this is how you're doing it, because there have been like, and I know you said, you know, no scientific whatever, but you know, studies, you know, do say, you know, it helps.
Yeah.
But that's my personal opinion about it.
When I was saying no numbers and stuff like that, I was meaning I didn't expect you to have them. If you have them at your disposal, by all means, feel free. I didn't mean, hey, I need your Wall Street Journal opinion on. No, it. Okay.
I just don't want to seem like I'm coming off as like, you know, this is.
Nope, that's fair. And I asked the question here, so you know I'm opening myself up to that. And I think I would have agreed with you a lot more prior to actually our middle kid here growing up. This last Christmas, we ended up getting him a Amazon Fire tablet that was set up specifically for kids and like kids his age. And I was hesitant about giving it to him because I kind of came at it with that mindset too of I didn't want him becoming a couch potato. I didn't want him just getting zoned into it. And he does occasionally, and I've got to take it away from him, you know, get him to go play. But he's also a very active kid on his own, so sometimes he won't stop bouncing, even with the tablet in his hand. It's just going with him. But we've actually found that he is learning a lot just playing around on it on his own. You know, when he first came up and shoved a block into my face and told me it was a green square, I'm like, yes. Yes, it is. We haven't even started working on this yet, but yes, that is a green square. And then to impress me even more, he goes over and grabs another one, shoves it in my face, and says, orange octagon. And he was right.
Exactly.
It's like, holy crap. And now just today, you know, we kind of do, to an extent, we do School of Hard Knocks with our kids where you get yourself into a problem, you're going to get yourself out, so long as it's something they're physically capable of doing.
Exactly.
He was reaching for a toy under a cabinet thing, and it got in his hand stuck. You know, the whole greed of reaching under, grabbed onto toy, and now I can't get my hand out. And Arini goes to him and says, you need to move your hand to the right to get it out. He was under there asking for help. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, he moves his hand over the correct direction and pulls his hand out. And I'm like, did he seriously... Come here. And he came over. Which one's your right hand? And he held up his right hand. And I'm like, we did not teach him this.
Exactly.
Yep. And which one's your left? And he held up his other hand. It's like, holy cow. What 2-year-old knows which one's their left and which one's their right? So it was an exciting moment for us, and it kind of speaks to how these things can help learn. But I do see your point too. At which point are we relying on that too much? And some kids are better with it than others, and I think that goes with
some kids are visual learners, and that helps them visualize.
Sure. And you know, some kids would become the couch potatoes, where others even with it sitting in front of them, they still want to get up and move, which is like the case with our middle child here. Is the youngest one going to be like that? I don't know. Right now, he is a couch potato, but being 3 months, that's okay.
Right.
So what's he going to be when he gets there?
He's a sack of potatoes. He's 3 months old.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So moving on to that thought of it's different for each kids, because I feel like that's going to be kind of the answer here for this next one. I asked this last week because it tied into our discussion of movies and things like that. But I want to get your opinion looking at video games and movies specifically, and I guess TV shows. There's obviously a rating system for all these things, and those rating systems are put in purpose for a reason. But how much stock do you put into those rating systems being like, okay, this is a PG-13 movie, yay or nay, 6-year-old kids should be in here, Your opinion on that kind of stuff. Or kids playing teen-rated games or things like that.
What we do is, if it's a PG-13 movie, we'll actually look up why it's rated PG-13.
Okay.
So if it's got a certain amount of cuss words, or if it's got certain cuss words in it, like, the granddaddy of all cuss words in it, we won't let 3-string watch it.
We're an 18+ show here, so you can, if you need to drop bombs, we can do a few.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, we're rated an 18+, at least on Mixer, and YouTube just says, is this intended for kids? And I said, nope.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Didn't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm letting you off the leash here.
Okay, because I don't cuss on my channel.
Okay.
Because of him.
Fair enough.
So, because I never know if/when he is watching. So I try to keep myself good.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we've kind of restricted our eldest from being able to watch it, partly because we air past his bedtime, but also just because it's like, no, we want to be free with what we can say. We're filming this for adults. We like to say Geeks of Glory is a family atmosphere. We didn't say family friendly. We said family atmosphere. It's the adults table at the Thanksgiving dinner.
True. Sometimes when it's our week to have him, if I'm here, 6-string will reward him with watching me before bedtime. So
nice. Okay, so yeah, I guess one of the things that really stood out to me with the rating systems and stuff, and I hear your opinion there with that. I remember going into one of the Marvel Avengers movies, and I forget which one it was, but I remember Arini and I going in, for kind of a date afternoon thing. Kids are mostly in school, so we should be fine. And there was a 6-year-old birthday party in front of us.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's a PG-13 movie. Why are there 6-year-olds in here?
Yeah, I've heard these horror stories before.
But then again, I am perfectly fine with letting, when our kids turn 6, watching the original Star Wars movies, which are technically PG-13.
Right.
But then again, it was a slightly different rating system then than it is now.
It's all subjective.
How do I justify one versus the other?
It's very subjective because, I grew up watching Grease. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so, I did too.
I grew up watching Grease, like, from the time I was small. But that was basically a rite of passage in my family. So
I grew up watching a lot of the era of movies that it was a question whether it was going to be in color or not.
Right.
So it's like, well, it's got these actors in it, and I remember them being really good. Okay, wait, check the box. Is this one going to be in color or not? Because I need to prep myself.
Yeah. Well, my mom's family loves 50s and 60s music. I grew up listening to 50s and 60s music. I did not listen to 90s music, like, at all growing
Yeah,
up.
hardly me
Um,
either.
so I was always the weird kid that listened to, like, Dion and the Belmonts or, you know, Frankie Valli. So, like, none of my friends growing up knew who these bands were.
Yep.
And so they would always be like, what are you talking about? And I would come home and I'd be like, Mom, my friends think I'm weird. They don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
So,
I think it was funny for me growing up because it was more 60s and 70s, I think, with my family. But with my
well,
mom, we
yeah,
were
my
listening
dad
to,
listened to that too. So I literally had from the 50s up to like the 80s.
yeah.
So
With my mom, we'd be listening to the oldies stations. So, we'd get things from that branch, and then we'd go out and work with my dad in his shop, and we'd be listening to the classic rock station. So, then we got our Led Zeppelin and stuff, and it's like, okay, good, well-rounded. Arini and I recently started watching Supernatural together, and I could sing along to several of the songs they put on in the car.
basically, yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
That's why actually Fallout was one of my favorite games,
Yeah.
because that's one of my favorite franchises, because I get to shoot things and I get to listen to oldies.
There you go. I can deal with a certain amount of the music from that era. It's not the kind that I would normally turn on for myself, but it's definitely not stuff I would run away from either.
Yeah.
I thought I muted these, but either way, thank you for that follow. And for the host. Nice. Okay. Whoa. And there's the alert. Alrighty, so, yeah, so the one that I was really going to poke at here, too, because I think it's a huge example of this, other than the Marvel franchise, was actually, Fortnite. And I know we're dealing with this with our 9-year-old. If you look at the game and just look at the artwork and the way they style it and all that stuff, this looks like it's a game for kids.
Right.
But then you watch the gameplay and realize what's going on. I would hold that it's not a game for kids. And then you look at the rating and go, nope, not for kids, at least according to the ESRB. But then you go to places like Target, Walmart, things like that. Hey, Quilton. And you see all of these.
I haven't seen Quilton in a while, so I got excited.
Fair enough. Yeah, she's awesome. Sorry, I tend to try to ignore chat while I'm doing interviews. I'll get to you guys, I swear. They have all these toys and merchandise for it out in the kids section. How can you market something like that?
Right, especially when a lot of the, especially the female models are scantily clad.
Yeah. And the game's rated T, I believe, if it's not even higher than that.
I don't know. I don't play Fortnite.
Me either.
I'm not a fan of the battle royales, believe it or not. I tried playing Fortnite, I think, or it was either Fortnite or Apex. I tried playing it once. It was like my very first time playing it. And I couldn't get a handle on the controls. And I was paired with these two people. They were clearly guys. And they were just so rude.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get a handle on the controls. Like, they blamed me for our team losing the match. And they were like, oh, this account must be a bot. It's like,
And that's one reason that when I play multiplayer games, I usually try to find people that I actually know outside of the game. I have a really hard time playing with what at least we've always termed as pugs. It's what we called them when we played Elder Scrolls Online. And those were the people that we pull off the random generators, We did it occasionally, but it was always really a mess whenever we had a pug in our group.
Yeah.
I remember back in my college days, well before I met Arini, actually, playing World of Warcraft with one of my college roommates, and this was right after they introduced the random dungeon teaming group. I forget what it was called, but basically group finder. That's it. To put you into a dungeon.
Yeah.
And my buddies and I had created our own guild. We're all in it. We're all wearing the tabards, so we've all got the names above our head. And this guy joins in and starts pulling before the tank can, which anybody that plays RPGs know that's a really bad idea. So I decided as the healer, I'm not healing him.
Right.
I'm not going to. And after about a second time dying because he charged in before the tank could go,
So basically he pulled a Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, he did. And then he turns around and tries to vote kick the tank for not doing his job.
What?
And all of us just stopped. I think there were 3 of us sitting in the room together, and the other guy was on voice comms with us, and we all just kind of stopped, looked at each other, and went, did he not, like, look at our names at all or anything like that? Because, no. So we vote kicked him instead. You have...
Oh, that doesn't work. Yeah. Trying to get my camera to focus better.
So, yeah, just looking at it, I mean, I have a problem looking at it where they're merchandising things like this to kids when it's rated at a teen level. But just your take on that overall. I know we've kind of gone off on several tangents as I keep asking.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I do that.
Me too. So.
Yeah, it's not right.
Okay.
You know, you can't put things that are clearly aimed at teenagers. You can't put them in a kid's toy aisle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it does make it hard, because going back to the whole Star Wars comparison there too, though, you know, if Star Wars toys were taken out of the toy aisles, I think all of us would feel that huge gap, because we grew up with it as kids. And I don't see, at least with the originals, I don't see any issue sharing that with the younger generation.
Oh, no. We did that with 3 String as soon as the trailer for the first new movie came out. And he was hooked.
Yeah.
He loves Star Wars. 6 String gave him his old Millennium Falcon toy.
Oh, nice.
And it's one of his prized possessions.
Yeah, the eldest and I built the Lego Millennium Falcon at one point. That didn't last all that long, but ours were cool. You mean our Star Wars ones that we grew up with? Yeah, I can see that. A lot of people.
6 String was able to find and pull his like old 1980s Millennium Falcon out of the attic, and he gave it to him.
Nice.
So it's like one of his prized possessions.
Well, I'm glad he's picked up on that then, you know, that he got that from his dad, and he really likes this. And
yeah, he found his old Millennium Falcon, and he found his old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mikey doll.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes that everywhere with him because it was his dad.
Awesome.
Like those are like his 2 prized possessions because they were his.
Nice. So kind of looking forward here, and again, these are very subjective questions, obviously, because we don't know what's coming.
Right.
What do you think the next generation raising their kids is going to look like? Because we've had this massive boom in technology between our parents and us. Where do you see that going with our kids?
Oh, wow.
And obviously, hugely subjective. Let's look at any movie that predicts the future. How many of them have actually come true? I'm still waiting on my hoverboard.
I know. I'd want to say virtual reality, like actual virtual reality.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know, like Tron virtual reality. That would, you know.
There's some things that I'm looking at to work with Geeks, and unfortunately, because of some of that, I'm boxed in on what I can say. But there's some future tech coming soon that I think helps start to close that gap between, virtual reality right now I still feel is very early consumer market. It's the people that have a lot more, I forget the correct term here, but basically income that they can use on stuff like that. Whereas, it's not on everybody's shelf. It's not in every household. It's not that level of consumer yet. Whereas, almost everyone has a TV.
Right.
Very few households don't have a kind of computer or gaming console. You have them almost everywhere. VR definitely is not there yet. Let's look around our studio. We don't have one. And, this is the kind of market we're working in. But I see more and more of this coming out where I think that's going to become a reality very soon. So, yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Lawnmower Man VR. I just strap on a pair of goggles and go outside and pretend they're VR goggles. That's the way I do my Lawnmower Man VR.
I'd also like to see, maybe not like waiting this long, like our kids, but I'd also like to see like self-driving cars or some kind of like teleportation, and technology.
Self-driving cars, I think, will come a lot sooner.
Right.
Teleportation, I think there's still some bugs in that one, but some faults, you might say.
Ha! I see what you did there.
Yep, had to plug you a little bit there.
I appreciate it.
But yeah,
Links down below.
Yep, self-driving cars, I don't feel are that far of a stretch at this point. I think we could see those. But yeah, speaking of, I will drop her links back into chat again if it's going to let me on. It's not going to let me on YouTube, at least not there. I have to do it through Geeks. Nope, that's the Amazon link. Either way, you guys can see it in chat or get it in the description below. Guys, go check out FaultyCodeGamer over on Twitch and on her Twitter and Instagram. Give her follows.
I promise I don't bite. I just sing the Doom song.
There you go. Raider, she'll sing the Doom song for you.
I will.
And we're trying desperately to get her those last 18 she needs before she's got to dress up as Eevee on stream. So please go over there. Plug you into the Matrix. You'd be fine with that. Thank you, Irini, for that host. All right, so we're going to move on then to opening the floor up for general discussion. While we're waiting for some questions to populate here in chat, I forgot to do some announcements at the beginning, so I'm going to plug that real quick. Also plug Faulty again. Come on, guys. Let's get her those 18 followers.
I'm going to stretch.
Okay. And maybe look up if you've gotten any of those followers that you need, because
yes,
I'll keep count on that. But either way, guys, coming up here soon, you will find us over on Twitch. On the 10th, we're going to be celebrating our streamiversary. Geeks of Glory is turning 2 years old on Twitch, and just in general. So we're going to be celebrating that. Thank you, Irini. So we'd love you guys to come and help us out celebrating that. We've got all kinds of fun things planned. I need to get on his butt, but apparently Hose leaked some of the things that we're planning. Snooping around in my desk. I'm going to have to go smack him over the head. Anyway, there's all kinds of fun stuff that we've got planned for that day. Please stop by and check it out. Yeah. I guess I'll have to repost the wheel at this point to show you guys, because it ought to be fun. Either way, if you're watching us here on Mixer or... hold my beer. Oh, thank you. If you guys are watching us over here on Mixer or YouTube, please make sure you hit the like, the follow, or the subscribe button as they apply on your particular platform. And then head over to our Twitch platform, twitch.tv/geeksofglory, and give us a follow there. We're far more active there than we are here. But either way, also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and just about every place else. We'd love to see you guys around for more stuff. But either way, what kinds of questions do you guys have for either myself or for Faulty tonight? Like I said, we're talking about raising geeklings in this generation. Astronaut Corey, holy cow, you got a lot of points, Dan.
I am back.
I see this. Obviously, that's the kind of stuff we're focusing on tonight. But if you have specific questions to Faulty about like what she does on her stream and I didn't cover it earlier, or you just weren't here for that part, feel free to ask. We'll take some questions here till the top of the hour. That'll be end of our stream here. But we'd love to hear from you guys.
By the way, we are holding fast at 283 followers.
That's just not acceptable. I'm going on a campaign after this. When's the next time you're streaming?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's not when we start because it's Mayhem Mondays, but Mayhem's not there, so it's Hose. Dang it. Okay. I got to slap him around, too, after this leak he put out. Holy crap, it's raining birds. I got to look behind us, and that's a lot of birds.
That is a lot of burbs.
Well, thank you,
Yes, you did follow Quilton. I saw that. You are my 283rd follower, and I appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll get you there. We'll get you there in short order.
I know. But the Eevee onesie that I am planning to wear when we hit 300 is sitting on my stream gifts.
Okay. So you got stream gifts?
Yes, I am beta partnered with Stream Gifts. For those of you that do not know what that is, it is a wonderful program that, like I said, is in beta right now. So they're still working on it. Where you can send your favorite streamers packages. It's safer than sending through Amazon. Your information is totally private. The streamer's information is totally private. And you can send it anonymously if you want.
Yep.
And if the streamer has it enabled, they have the option to have alerts pop up on their stream. We've been trying to you send a gift.
I think we've been trying to get in there for like 6 to 8 months now.
It's been over a year.
Oh, it's been over a year. We've been trying to get in on that program, and well, we have a PO box. People can send stuff to. So, ready to watch kids shows over and over and over. Yeah, that's what we do. That's, as a geeky parent of young geeklings, especially, you watch the same ones over and over again. Favorites around here are Blaze and the new Blue's Clues.
Okay. Rini has a question.
As a geeky... Go ahead.
Okay. As a geeky mama, do you ever feel it's your prerogative to share old nostalgic shows, games, or movies with your kids? I wouldn't say I feel like it's my prerogative, but we have been sharing like the old Nickelodeon shows with 3-String. Like, he just watched through the entirety of Doug, both the Nickelodeon and the Disney season.
Huh.
So, and he loved them.
Yeah, I remember Doug growing up. I can't ever say I was a huge fan. It was more I watched it because there wasn't anything else on, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't one of those ones that was like, ooh, I want to go watch Doug.
Well, he, like, if we tell him, you know, if we tell him that, you know, this was something that, you know, Daddy and I watched when we were his age, he's more inclined to watch it.
Fair enough. Has he ever tried to dress up as Quail Man?
He has not.
Oh, okay.
You know, he knows that things are supposed to go a certain way. So, you know, if you try to deviate from what's expected,
yeah,
he will tell you, no, that's not right.
So no belt on the head, no underwear on the outside of the pants.
No underwear on the outside. Excuse me 1 second.
Sure.
I just got an email.
Well, I hope it's a good email. Killer Tofu. Well, in the meantime, Dragon Bahamut, how are you doing? What's that? Or Dragoon, excuse me. I apologize. You were here before, weren't you? Underwear goes on the outside, clearly because of the name. Round the outside. How you doing, JB? It's been a little bit since we got to hang out. Sorry we didn't get to catch you at PAX this year. Really bummed about that. Didn't get to come up with the new inside joke with spoons and all, you know. You doing well? Good to hear. Good to hear. I know that's actually questionable for most people nowadays where we're all stuck at home. Finally made an account on Mixer as a placeholder. Yeah, I've made a few of those for Geeks where we just created one on the platform just to hold it so nobody took the name. But anyway. Well, I hope it's all
Sorry
good things.
about that.
Not a problem. Things happen. But anyway, any other questions we got here for Faulty or for myself or anything else going forward here? We actually, I don't think, I got to look over the contract again and how much we can, or the release, and see how much we can talk about it. But we just got some exciting news about things we can do for our Streamiversary. There's a game that's being re-released that we got early access to. That it's not one I'd heard about before, but it looks like a lot of fun, and I think we're going to play with it a little bit. So that'll be fun. But anyway, there wasn't anything. They just told me not to release anything before actually the day of our Streamiversary. So that's convenient for us that it fell on the same day. But anyway, Faulty, what have you been up to while you've been stuck at home?
I was actually at Six Strings' house when the apocalypse hit. So, yeah. I was actually with the two of them when the world decided that it wanted to end. So I was not here.
Well, at least you were with family.
Yes. But it was funny because I had an entire weekend planned for, wanting to have, wedding stuff done, getting wedding stuff done. I had an entire list on my phone. And then it's like, hey, stuff is shutting down. Schools are closing. There's no school for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And I just went fudge.
Yep.
And it was literally like, because he was going back to night shift for his job. And now Three String's going to be home all week. So he's sleeping during the day. Three String's home. I have to, make sure Three String isn't sitting there watching TV all day. So I'm like, okay.
Break out the Pokemon cards.
Up. Basically, time to woman up.
Bust out the D&D. Get the dice ready to roll. I actually have mine sitting here because we were, because of all of this, we ended up having to film Glory Roll remote this time. So all my D&D stuff is actually sitting here at my desk.
Yeah. We did wind up sitting down. He and I did wind up sitting down and going over the list because I was like, look, before the universe decided to do a table flip, because he had asked me, he recommended. I told him, I said that, he said make a list. And he's like, no, I recommended you make a list. And I'm like, I'm not doing this with you. So, so I'm like, look, you told me to make a list and I made a list. So we actually sat down and we went over the list. We actually were able to check off, I think, like 3 of the things that were on the list. So that actually helped me calm down a little and ease the growing bridal anxiety that was growing in my brain. Because the entire week I was just thinking, now that, 2 weeks have basically put everything on hold, we're not going to have time now to get everything done. This is going to cause everything to just
shift.
Nothing's going to be on time now.
Yep.
So I'm just freaking out.
And I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure you're not the only one with that. All right, so another question we got here. Do you think this time of quarantine is going to be an eye-opener for schools to start teaching online instead of in person?
That's actually a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
I think what it's going to do is at least open them up to having a contingency plan for something like this, where there maybe wasn't before.
I think it'll make them realize that they need to be more prepared, if anything else, because you can't replace the human interaction and human intervention.
Yep. I mean, there are some kids that learn almost entirely remotely like that, and a lot of them do very well with it. Doesn't work for everybody, so I think it becomes one of those per the kid type thing again. But I think that's going to apply to more than just schools, though, too. I mean, even the business that I work for, like I said before, technically me working from home is impossible by corporate procedures, by just the kind of work that I do, which unfortunately I can't speak too much, but I can just say it's not stuff I can work on outside of the office. But now the company is really using this time to evaluate how much can we do from home? How much of that computer learning that we make you come into the office and sit there for, cybersecurity training, could you do that at home? Could you do your this type of training at home?
Right.
Well, not currently, because we don't have the infrastructure for it.
Right. Like my dad, he's at a point where he's like, if something happens to his job, he can't do it remotely.
Yeah.
So he's freaking out.
And I mean, some jobs are legitimately that way, where, a plumber has to be on scene. I'm sorry, there's no way you can do plumbing work from home unless you are working on your home. Yeah. There's some things you can't do. To JB's point, you can't sweep the post office floor if you're at home. He mentioned that earlier, that it's critical for him to be there to sweep the floors of the post office. But other jobs, a lot of mine is meetings. And there's no issue with me saying that. I spend a lot of time either on the phone or in person with people in meetings. Well, now what they've done is shift a lot of those to voice calls, and they're letting me do it over my phone, which up till now, the only thing stopping it was corporate procedures. Don't do this over your own phone, because who knows, that app you downloaded for music last week could be a bug. True. I got nothing. But yeah, so I think for both schools and corporations, it's an eye-opener, if nothing else.
Yeah. It'll definitely force, I don't want to say force, but it'll definitely, force them to have better contingency plans.
Yeah, I definitely think I agree with you there. Yeah, you could. I mean, there's a lot of platforms you can find that too. But, or are you saying teachers could live stream classes?
They could.
I know one of her recommendations before was getting the class set up on a Discord server.
Yeah, that could work. especially with right now Discord increasing their the size of their teleprompt, whatever it was.
Yep. Yeah, and I like that they did that where, it suddenly jumped up. Okay, we're going to open up these surfaces to
Right.
more. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They could watch a VOD too. And I wonder if that would drop the number of kids that would call in sick or, do a sick day. I guess they don't call in sick, but have a sick day because now they can't
Right.
stay home and play video
They
games
have
all
no
day.
excuse.
Oh, I'd rather be miserable
Yeah.
in class with my friends than stay at home and have to watch it
Right.
anyway.
Right. Because the number of kids playing hooky would go down.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see. Or if the number would go up because, well, I could just watch it there anyway, and what's the
It
problem?
would definitely be an interesting study.
Yeah. Huh. Well, maybe one of these days we'll find out. Either
Who
way,
knows?
we're
Maybe that's what the future holds for our kids.
Maybe, or you were talking about the VR, and it just popped into my brain there with the I don't know if you've seen Ready Player One, but that level of
Yes,
VR
I think I
interaction.
saw part of it.
Okay, but that level of VR interaction where everybody's just living in the virtual world at that point.
Right.
Crap living conditions all around in the real world, but hey, you should see my penthouse in the game.
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about where we're going to be wrapping it up. If you have one or two last minute questions, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping up.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. Otherwise, make sure you go over and give Faulty a great follow over on her Twitch page, twitch.tv/FaultyCodeGamer. We want to get her to break that 300 point. I'm going to be going on a campaign with this now because that's the kind of thing I do when I find out somebody's near a goal like that.
And I appreciate it.
Thank you for putting that link in there, Rini.
Thank you, Rini.
It's not letting me copy, or I'd do it too. Because if I did it, it'd show up on YouTube. Oh, there we go. And for those of you over on YouTube, or you can find it down in the description below. Oh, now it posted. Okay, it's picking on me. Now it posted to Mixer, but not YouTube. Whatever. It's in the description on YouTube. But thank you, Faulty, for coming by and hanging out with me tonight. And sorry,
You're welcome, Rillian.
Sorry.
You mind if I do my sign off?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. My name is FaultyCodeGamer. His name is Rillian. You don't got to go back to the homepage, but you can't stay here.
Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you drop us a follow, a like, a subscription, depending on which platform you're on. Faulty, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Remember, everyone, to be kind to yourselves, be kind to your streamers, and be kind to others. And until we meet again, may all your days be glorious and full of geekery. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow as Hose Clamp takes over our channel once again to bring you more nonsense and mayhem with Mayhem Mondays, even though Mayhem's not there, with more Detroit Becoming Human. At least that's what he last told me. Yeah, he was playing it last Monday for us. I think he's doing it again.
Gosh, I love that game.
We'll post more info up on our Discord and our social media, so make sure you watch it there. Either way.
I will. Oh my gosh, that is one of my favorite games.
Well, I know somebody that's going to be there now. It's one I've still got to pick up and play. But either way.
I know.
Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you there.
Bye.